Good morning, everybody. Begin today's session now. Okay. The first question for the day, Professor Patyam, in an attempt to create the world's delicious dish, managed to merge a cylindrical idli, which is of the diameter 17 centimeter and height 6 centimeter, with a torus shaped mendu vada, with an inner hole diameter of 2 centimeter and outer diameter of 16 centimeter, and the tube diameter of the height of the torus to be 7 centimeters, such that the mendu vada is parallel to the base of the idli, and the centroids of the two solids, they coincide. You have to find the surfaces of the resultant solid. You have to find the surfaces of the resultant solid. Okay. We have a cylinder and we have a torus, basically. We have a cylinder like this. And we have a torus. Okay. This whole height is 7. The outer diameter is 16. The inner diameter is 2. The cylinder, the diameter is 17, and then the height is 6 centimeters. How they merge? We are basically merging the centroid. The centroid will be in the middle, actually. When they merge, we'll get some shape like this, basically. Get a shape which will be like this. So there will be a bulge that will be coming out. Then the bulge will look like this in the bottom. So the number of surfaces that we have is 1, 2, the curved surface, and the ring third. So ऊपर आपके 3 surface होंगे. In the middle, there will be 1 surface. And then like we have on top, there will be 3 surfaces on the bottom. Total surfaces will be 3 plus 1 plus 3, which is equal to 7 surfaces. Okay, move to the next one. Shown below is a combination of fixed pulleys. If the triangular load moves down, how many pulleys will rotate in the same direction as the smallest pulley, including itself? The overlapping paths, they do not interfere with each other. We basically know that the pulley, the load that we are given is going to move down. If this load moves down, we have to identify what will be, first we have to identify what will be the direction of rotation of the smallest pulley. Once we have done that, we will then identify how many other pulleys are there that will rotate in the same direction as the smallest pulleys. Okay. So if this is moving down, ये ऐसे rotate होगा. This will come in this direction. If this comes in this direction, this will rotate like this. If this comes in this direction, just to come up, which means the smallest pulley, which is this one, will be rotating in clockwise direction. If this rotates in clockwise direction, 1, of course, ये anti-clockwise है, ये भी clockwise है, so 2. From here, this will come on this side. ये ऐसे rotate होगा. From here, this third one is here. ये भी ऐसे rotate होगा. Yeah, so this is the third one. ये anti-clockwise है. ये clockwise है, so ये fourth आएगा. ये clockwise है, तो इसके connecting ये वाला anti-clockwise आएगा. ये anti-clockwise है, तो ये आपका वापस से क्लॉकवाइज आ रहा है, तो 5. ये क्लॉकवाइज है, सो ये भी बिकॉज इट्स नॉटेड, सो दिस विल आल्सो बी क्लॉकवाइज, तो 6. ये क्लॉकवाइज है, इसका नेक्स्ट कनेक्शन जा रहा है यहाँ पे, ये एंटी क्लॉकवाइज जा रहा है, और ये वाला आपका आएगा क्लॉकवाइज विच इज 7. ये इससे कनेक्टेड है, दिस विल बी एंटी क्लॉकवाइज, दिस विल आल्सो बी एंटी क्लॉकवाइज, एंड दिस विल बी क्लॉकवाइज 8. दिस विल बी एंटी क्लॉकवाइज, दिस विल बी एंटी क्लॉकवाइज, तो ये भी same direction एंटी क्लॉकवाइज, and this will be clockwise 9. This will also be clockwise 10. ये भी clockwise आएगा आपका 11, और फिर ये एंटी क्लॉकवाइज, ये भी एंटी क्लॉकवाइज, और ये भी एंटी क्लॉकवाइज, and this is going to move up. So the number of pulleys that are moving in anti-clockwise direction, sorry, clockwise direction as 11. Okay, as the smallest pulley. Smallest pulley is this one. Okay, move to the next one. Meetapur works on a barter system. Each person there loves different sweets. Mukund is willing to exchange 2 toffees for a lollipop and 3 ice creams for a toffee. The barter systems means you exchange one object for getting another object, basically. Ranjana is willing to exchange 1 ice cream for 2 lollipops and 3 toffees for a lollipop. Mukund and Ranjana don't know each other, but both of them know Sita, who loves toffee. Sita has 1 lollipop. She can meet Ranjana and Mukund only once, which may or may not be in the same order. What is the maximum number of toffees that Sita can get? Okay. We'll first write down the equations. For Mukund, 2 toffees can be exchanged for 1 lollipop, and 3 ice creams can be exchanged for 1 toffee. For Ranjana, 1 ice cream can be exchanged for 2 lollipops, and 3 toffees can be exchanged for 1 lollipop. Okay. Sita has 1 lollipop. So from 1, first step, from A, she'll first exchange that 1 lollipop for 2 toffees. Next step, from B, she will exchange the 2 toffees to get 6 ice cream, because B is 1 toffee is equal to 3 ice creams. Third step, then she will go to Ranjana. From C, she will exchange 6 ice cream for 12 lollipops. And from the fourth step, from D, she will exchange 12 lollipops for 36 toffees. The answer is 36. Okay. We'll move to the next one. On the left is a photograph. Which option is or are a part of the photograph? We're given an image on the left. We have to identify which of the option is or are a part of the photograph. One or more option is correct in this case. Okay. Yes. So now we'll compare all the options together. When you compare the options together, you'll find A or D similar here. What is the difference in A and B is this part and this part. That part actually happens here. So I already know that D is correct, A galat hai. B and C, if you want to observe, they actually happen here somewhere. And this is B basically, and C happens here. और D वाला जो पार्ट है आपका वो यहाँ पे है. Okay. Well, now move. So all the options basically, not all, but B, C, and D are correct. All 3 are correct here. Okay. Now move to the next one. If spaces and special characters are ignored in the following text, Which country or countries is or are hidden in the text shown below? We're given a text. We have to ignore the apostrophe s, comma, full stop, or for spaces also, everything. And then when we look at that same text, we have to identify which of the country or countries are hidden here. Okay. We are given the options Ghana, India, Peru, and Iran. Now look at it. So we'll first identify G, I, P, and I. Why there exists. Now I happens at many places. But I can definitely go down to the answer. You can, the easier way out for doing this is identify where G, I, and P are located. And then just try to make sense of whether I'm getting the word Ghana somewhere, India, or Peru. So in this case, there are two answers which are correct. One is India, which happens here, and another is Iran, which happens here. So B and D are correct here in this case. Okay. I'll go to the next one. A CBI is investigating a dangerous gang of 3 criminals. The criminals are Donga, Tridoon, and Daku. The investigation team consists of Pradyuman, Daya, Frederick, Salunke, Tarika, and Purvi. Each criminal is to be investigated by exactly 2 investigators. Each investigator investigates exactly 1 criminal. The investigation is to be conducted subject to all these conditions are satisfied. Given these constraints, which of the following would be the acceptable assignments of the investigators to potent criminals? One or more options are correct. Here what we will do is we'll look at the condition and then we'll look at the option and then we'll eliminate the options. Okay. We'll do it. The first condition says Pradyuman and Daya do not investigate the same criminal. In A, Pradyuman and Daya are investigating the same criminal, so A nahi possible hai. यहाँ पे Pradyuman and Daya are investigating different criminals. यहाँ पे भी they are in C also they're investigating different criminals, and in D also they're investigating different criminals. So B, C, and D are fine so far. Condition 2. Fredericks and Salunke investigate the same criminal. Fredericks and Salunke, they have to investigate the same criminal, जो B में हो रहा है. C में फ्रेडरिक्स और सालुंके अलग अलग क्रिमिनल को इन्वेस्टिगेट कर रहे हैं, सो वो गलत है. D में भी वो सेम चीज हो रहा है, they investigating 1 criminal only. Next, if Fredericks investigate Tridoon, then Tarika must investigate Taku. This is only when Fredericks investigate Tridoon, then Tarika investigates Taku. So do we have any condition in B and D where Fredericks investigate Tridoon? So Tridoon is investigated by Tarika and Pradyuman in B, and Tridoon is investigated by Daya and Purvi D. So no, we don't have to look at the third condition here at all. So B and D are correct in this case. Okay. We'll move to the next one. If 9 plus 8 means 9 is child of 8, 7 into 6 means 6 is wife of 7, then which of the following statements can be derived from 2 plus 3 into 1 plus 4 plus into 5? We're given an equation and we're given conditions also. What does plus and multiplication means? And based on this equation, we have to identify what does this equation means. One or more option is correct in this case. Okay. We'll just keep on writing down what each condition means. 2 plus 3. This is equivalent to 2 is the child of 3. 3 into 1 means 1 is the wife of 3. 1 plus 4 means 1 is the child of 4. And 4 into 5 means 5 is the wife of 4. Okay. So 5 plus 4, husband, का child is 1, who is the wife, plus 3, who is the husband. In दोनों का child is 2. Okay, that's what this means. So what does first condition say? 2 is the grandchild. 2 is the grandchild of 4. 2 is the grandchild of 4 is correct. 1 is the daughter of 5. 1 is the daughter of 5 is also correct. 5 is the grandfather of 3. 5 is the grandfather of 3. No, she is a wife, so no, she's not. 1 is the mother of 2. 1 is the mother of 2, it's applicable. So A, B, and D all are correct here. Okay, we'll move to the next one. 30 circles are given below with set of rows, the 3 set of rows. Which options given below is or are true? Okay, we'll go from option to option. Circle 25 is closest to us. 25 circle यहाँ पे है. It is blue color. Now what we are given is red is our farther away as compared to blue. So blue is closer. Thinner the line, closer it is to us, and bigger the circle, the farther away it is to us. So 25 is small, which means it is closer to you. Also, it is blue in color, which means it is closer to you, and it has a thin line, which also establishes that it is closer to you. So definitely compared to all, 25 is the closest if you compare the thickness, the size, or even the color in all. So A is correct. 25 is farthest away, not possible because we have already established as the closest. Next, circle 24 is closer to us than circle 14. 24 ये है, 14 ये वाला है. Between 24 and 14, 14 ka circle is bigger, which means 14 is farther away from you, and 24 is closer than 14. So C is correct. D. Circle 6 is closer to us than 8. 6 and 8. Here the size is varying. 6 ka bada size hai. The bigger the circle, the farther away it is. So 6 is farther away than 8. So D galat hai. So answer A and C are correct in this case. Okay. We'll move to the next one. Which concept does this image by Escher illustrate? This is an image which is drawn by Escher. You have to identify which concepts does it illustrate. Tessellation, figure and ground, mise en scene, and collage. Okay. In this case, the correct answer is tessellation and figure ground. Both A and B are correct. If you want to understand what each and every term means, this is the definition. Tessellation means repetition and then making sense of the scene. Transformation bhi ho sakta hai wo repetition mein. Mise en scene means basically using different things like props, lights, actors, objects basically to put up a scene. Collage means a visual representation made from assembly of different forms, materials, sources to create something, a whole. And figure ground means it's like a visual perception principle, which helps the people differentiate the main subject and its background. So both can be read. So if I'm concentrating on the white here, I see two faces, but if I'm concentrating on the black, I see a vase. That's called figure ground. So in this case, in the previous example, both tessellation and figure ground are the correct answers. Okay, move to the next one. Read the passage written by Nick Hughes. Which of the statements is or are true of the paragraph below? We tend to treat power as though it is intrinsically valuable. We seek it out and covet it, quite irrespective of how we might wield it and what it might get us. One need only look at the history of totalitarian politics to recognize this tendency in its most grotesque form. But power isn't intrinsically valuable, it is instrumentally valuable. Valuable as a means to an end, and whether or not they are objectively valuable, the ends that matter to us, the things that we care about the most, our relationships, our goals, our shared experience of social justice, the pursuit of happiness, the creation, appreciation of art, music, and literature, and the future and fate of ours and other species do not depend to any considerable extent on our having control over a vast but largely irrelevant universe. We might be distinctly lacking in power from cosmic perspective and so in sense insignificant, but having such power and such significance wouldn't make much of a difference anyway. To lament its lack and respond with despair and nihilism is merely a form of narcissism. Most of what matters to us is right here or not. The statements. The author argues that intrinsic value is distinct from instrumental value and that power possesses the latter of the two, which is true. So here, here this is a part where this is established. Humans are aware and our significance in the universe is one of the themes discussed in the passage. Yes, you can make sense of it from here. B is correct. Philosophies of nihilism and narcissism are suggested as remedies by author. Actually, they are not. We are just told that nihilism is a form of narcissism, and we almost lament to the lack of power and respond with despair. So no. The author suggests that we look at the history of totalitarian politics to recognize that we shun power in the most grotesque form. We tend to recognize this tendency in the most, we don't shun, but we tend to recognize this tendency in the most grotesque form. So even that is wrong. So A and B are correct here. Okay. On to the next one. Which option is or are simple rotations of the figure given below? We are given here a figure. We have to identify which of the options is or are simple rotation of this figure. One or more option is correct in this case. So how do we solve this? One thing, compare the option. Yes, helps. But in this case, what worked for me specifically was just looking at one part, just looking at this slice, just one part. Because we're unique, this part is a little bit unique compared to others. That's why. So I just try to place where exactly does that part happens in all the options. It happens here, here, and here. In option A, the part itself, the slice itself is wrong. In option B, it is correct. But if you observe, ये slice के left side में, on the left, which is here, you have a purple slice, and on the right is the green color slice. यहाँ पे left side पे green है और right side पे purple है. So गलत है. C. Again, this part is wrong. So गलत है slice ही. And in D again, यहाँ पे left side पे purple है और green is on the right side, which is exactly how this figure looks like. So D is the only option which is correct here, although one or more option is correct. Okay. We'll end today's session with this. Thank you so much for your time.